So hey everyone, this is Saturday, August 13, 2022. Okay, and we are as usual doing the Hindu Daily edition. So first we'll be identifying the most important news followed by a detailed discussion. So let's identify avoid unilateral action to alter Taiwan status quo. Says India, okay fine. If you want you can read it. But just know this thing that is happening. Russia is stabbed at New York event. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Fine. I'll just see this news because this is an important person. Okay, retail inflation in India eases to 6.71%. Okay, it is below 7% now. Hope it goes below 6% as well. BJP rejected demand for 4 cabinet berth. Okay, J&J to set up will not required. No bail for retailer who not required. Sisodia not required. Not required. Sales soar amid high sky demand. Okay. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, there is nothing here as well. What is this? 75 Vande Bharat going to be rolled out on? I see. Okay, fine. There is nothing here. Center to file review petition for eco-sensitive zone in very important. Farm loan waiver for Gujarat. Okay. Okay, there is nothing. Ongal breed of cattle back in favor. Okay. Coming back and not required. Editorial independence in word of an American. That magical moment when India become free when middle corded must never be forgotten. Fine, fine. If you want, you can give it a read. Not required for exam point of view. No holds barred. Not required. Moving policy away from population control. India should focus on investment in human capital and older adult living with dignity on healthy population aging. Okay, we can do this. Never ending fight. Okay. Okay, we'll see this also. Why this has appeared also sudden. 3 murders in a communal not required. Electricity bill problematic says opposition. Okay, militant should not required. Bihar has shown the way. Tejasvi, no, Bihar has not shown the way. That's exactly wrong. You should have gone for a by-elections. Then we would have understood that you actually have the mandate of people. You just go on for horse trading and say then that okay, this is a role model. This is not a role model. Now the entire government work will be stalled for some months until you all enjoy yourself and then come back to work maybe after a year or so. Okay. Rajnath Singh, all praise for Army Hall at CWG. Very good. Touch for quite some time. Each part of contract is stakeholder not required. Poaching cases in 3 years. Essential commander invokes today. We have to see this. Social justice ministry should follow fellowship. Okay. Intimidation. Okay, we'll see this. No GST on house rent for personal use. Okay, fine. Rehabilitated beggars. Okay. And the name of the scheme, I think I have seen this scheme, no? Smile. Yes, that's what I was. For beggars and transgender, right? Personally approved Trump speech. Okay, Biden, Zai agreed to meet. Mm-hmm. Iran may accept EU plan on nuclear deal if demands meet. Okay. Okay. Fine. Corporate tax revenue rose by 34%. Exports grew 2%. Fine. 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 Okay. So fine. We are done identifying the most important news on sports page. We don't generally have such news of in exam importance. Okay. So let's see. Fine. So today is Saturday, so sports, a lot of sports will be there. Okay. Fine. So let's go on and analyze the most important news. Okay. So we have this thing here. I just wanted to know why has he been stabbed so much? Wait. Let me see the news. Was stabbed in the neck multiple times on Friday because he's a known author, right? Mr. Rushid was taken to the hospital. His agent said that writer was undergoing surgery, but he has no other detail. One stage of this institution began punching or stabbing him 10 to 15 times as he was being introduced. The 75-year-old author was pushed or fell to the floor, and man was arrested, bloodied, was quickly surrounded by people, held up his legs, presumably to send more blood to the chest. I don't understand why he has been stabbed. There must be some reason. Whose writing led to death threat from Iran. Okay, in the 1980s. So the events of 1980s have came back to him. That's sad. That's a very sad state of security, right? Okay, moving away from population control, why we have been obviously seeing population control policies should be there and population regulation. I always believed in regulation instead of control because control and all those things are very, very non-realistic kind of thing, right? Okay, the WWP 2022 forecasted India becoming the most populous country by 2023, surpassing China with 140 crore population. This is 4 times the population India has at time of independence. Now the third stage of the demographic transition. Okay, they are experiencing a slowing growth rate due to constant low mortality and rapidly declining fertility. India has 17.5% of world population, about 18%. As per latest WWP, India will reach 150 crore by 2030, 166 crore by 2050. Sea change. It is in 75-year journey since independence. The country has seen a sea change in its demographic structure. In 1960, India has a population growth rate of over 2%. At current growth rate, this is expected to fall to 1% by 2025. However, there is a long way to go for the country to achieve stability in population. This is expected to achieve no later than 2064 and is projected to be 170 crores. Last year, India reached a significant demographic milestone as for the first time TFR slipped to 2 below the replacement fertility 2.1 in as per the NFHS. However, even after reaching the replacement level of fertility, the population will continue to grow for 3 to 4 decades owing to large population momentum. Okay, now I have to explain this because this is a very, very technical term, technical things I introduce. Let me open the Evernote. Okay. This actually is talking about the two things, the population pyramid and the demographic transition theory, and it will be no surprise if it also invokes the that theory. What's his name? The Rostov model of growth. Okay, so it won't be a surprise, right? Okay, so let's see. So it's saying that, now here it is. Okay, now let me first explain you the S6 pyramid for India, or let me just go on with the demographic transition theory, right, DTT. What happens is very easy to understand. Okay, so the theory says here we have two things. Let's take two color, blue, birth rate, and we have red with death rate, or don't take red, take black, death rate. Okay, so what happens initially, both birth rate and death rate remains high. Fine, then what happens? And death rate also remains like this. Okay, then what happens? Death rate falls. Fine, but birth rate does not fall immediately, it falls with some lag. Okay, and then it goes on to boom and bust phase like this. Okay, it goes on like this. You got the concept. Now let me divide it. It is the initial stage or stage 1. This is the stage 2. This is the stage 3, and that is the stage 4. Okay, so we have 4 stages here. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. Okay, and for 4 stages we have 4 a different kind of A6 pyramid. Why? Because all the 4 stages has different type of demographic structure. Look, here we have, okay, here we have say 25, or not, let's not go in number. Here we have birth rate, death rate high. Okay, and here we have birth rate, death rate low. Fine. So what happens? Let's see, the population goes from a stable state of high birth rate and death rate to another stable state where the birth rate and death rate is low. Both these, you have to understand that stage 1 and stage 4, both stable stage. Okay, both are what? Stable stage. But what happens here, from a high birth rate and death rate, okay, and here we have what? Low birth rate and death rate. This is what it is. Now you have to understand, you have to see. Wait, the microphone has gone out. Let me just put it here so that it does not go out again. Okay, it would be audible, I think. Now let's see what is happening here. Look, this gap is increasing. Okay, this gap is what? The difference between birth rate and death rate. Till here it is increasing. Fine. So you know that number of, or say the population increase can be taken as birth rate minus death rate. Okay, so you see in this stage, therefore in a stage 2, what we see, birth rate minus death rate is greater than 0, means population is what? Increasing. But in stage 3, what we see, birth rate minus death rate is less than 0, means population is decreasing. You understand? Look, this is again, it is declining. Okay, fine. So you see that from stage 1, where there was high birth rate and death rate, first the death declines, means the death rate declines. Okay, then the birth rate follows it, and then birth rate shows more decline, but death rate is already declined. So it goes on like this. Now what is the benefit of such thing? Look, why it happens like this. Why? First reason for stage 2. Okay, why we have this stage 2? Why don't we have directly stage 3? Why don't we have a curve like this? It falls, two of them falls together. It does not happen like that. It is because of inertia of population, right? Look what happens in this stage, in stage 1. Okay, low tech development. Okay, therefore life expectancy is low. Okay, now this inertia is followed out in this stage also. So people know that the life expectancy is low, so they will do what? They will reproduce more. But okay, so what will happen? That reproduction at same rate, that means birth rate constant, right? But due to technological development slash import, means say you develop a medicine or you imported a medicine, like that. Okay, what happened? Death rate controlled or declined. What can be the other factor for this increase and socio-economic status? And this would lead to what? This. So what will happen? That, why isn't it moving? So what will happen? This will lead to what? This will lead to very simple thing. Birth rate minus death rate is declining, and this is what? This is equals to live birth. Okay, so live birth will increase. Fine. This will lead to increase in population rate, or say population in total. No, fine, rate, because population increases in all three stages, right? So population rate increases means more population. Again, also one more factor is that, oh, wait, the people in reproductive age in this stage, or who are entering in this stage, have high inertia to reproduce as well. So for a number of times they reproduce, by the time passes, the other one also reproduce, means the children become adult and they will reproduce, so the gap increases. But after some time, when there is enough, at this stage there is enough incentives to control population. Why? So that a good living could be made possible, or government stance is there for causing something like this. Okay, socio-economic development has taken place. So all those things will lead to what? This will lead to a condition where birth rate will decline very fast. Okay, and this especially begins, okay, increased female education plus increased reproduction rights. Okay, this will lead to what? Decreasing in birth rate, and death rate has also already decreased. So the population shows a decline here. So I'll plot the population curve also with this blue one. Look, the population is very low here. Why? You have to understand, because birth and death rate are both low. Say population was initially P naught. Okay. So what will happen? It remains something like this only, a brief increase. But here, what you see? Here you see a very high increase. Okay. Then here you will see this J curve will start to normalize. Okay. And then what you will see here, you will again have a stable stage. You understand? So this is your population curve. Let me bold it out. 0.5, let's see. 0.5 is of no use. 0.9, let's see. Yeah, this is good. You see how population increases. So population actually is increasing in stage 2 and stage 3, but the rate of population increase is different. In stage 2, the population increases rate is very high, whereas in this stage 3, the population increase rate is low. Fine, clear? So now let's see the A6 pyramid for this. Okay, I'll plot it here only so that you get the feel of it. Okay, ideally I should have plotted it down, but there is no space, so I'll be plotting it here only. Now what is a A6 pyramid? You have to first understand. Nothing, it is very easy concept. A6 pyramid is that you have a age on this, and you have a sex on this and age on this. Sex means, say here you have male, this or female, and here you have male. Okay, so you have a something like this kind of thing. I have discussed it many times. Let's see for the various stage what it has to prove. Okay, you see here what will be the A6 pyramid. You see the birth and death rate are high. Okay, So people in reproduction stage will be high, and as we go up, it will be zero, very low. Okay, so the age-sex pyramid is this. This is female, this is male, this is age. So very low number of people survive post 40-45 years, right? And very high survival in this part. Okay. Now here see, let's see here age-sex pyramid. So what will happen that you see this population is increasing. So people in reproductive stage will be high because population is increasing. Okay. So children will be low, reproductive stage will be high, and everything else will be same. So this is what. So reproductive stage is what? Almost. Say your 15, 16, 15 years, say 45 years. And people in a higher age group would be low. Fine. Now let's see in this stage. This is stage 3. You see the reproductive age population is declining. Okay. So what will you see? You will see a S-X pyramid like this. Okay. So you will have people in middle ages. Okay. This thing about from say 30 to 60 years. You will have people here, right? They won't be in reproductive stage so much. 45, 50 years, you will have 50 years people here, about 50, 45, 50, 55 years. Fine. So this is your third stage. And for fourth stage, you have a highly tapered. Means old age population is too much. Okay. You see this bulge. You have often seen that we talk about this demographic bulge or demographic dividend, okay, and demographic curves. These are the three things that you have seen. This is the bulge, okay. This bulge is, this is the bulge. This is the bulge. So demographic bulge become dividend when? Now we see the demographic bulge equals to demographic dividend when bulge is in working group population. Okay, you got it? And demographic bulge equals to demographic curves when bulge is in non-working group population. Like here, bulge is in non-working group. Here, bulge is in non-working group. I'll give you an example. Say LDC, like actually we have very low people. LDC country like you say DRC, etc. Demographic Republic of Congo, etc. lies in this curve. Okay. Countries like India is here. Okay. Countries like you say US, Japan, not US, Japan, Canada. Actually, you can take US, UK, etc. are in this stage, and countries like Australia, etc. are in this stage. Okay, fine. So you got the concept of entire this age-sex pyramid, this demographic dividend thing. Now, in this context, you read this. You'll understand it very well. Okay. Post-independence, India has TFR of 6. Several states look TFR of 6. Why? Because at that time, India was in stage 1. Okay. Several states have reduced TFR to 2 except Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Manipur and Meghalaya. All these states have faced bottleneck in achieving. This includes high illiteracy level, rampant child marriage, high levels of under 5 mortality rate. These are the reasons why propagation from stage 2 to stage 3 is not happening, right? Low workforce of participation of women, low contraceptive uses compared to other states. A majority of women in this state do not have much of economic or decisive say. As I said, women rights increase and reproductive rights increase is not there, so they are not they are facing that problem. Okay, without ameliorating the state of women in the society, only lopsided development will be available. Demographic dividend: a larger population is perceived to mean greater human capital, higher economic and all those things. In last 7 decades, share of working age population has grown from 50 to 65%, resulting in remarkable decline in dependency ratio. Now, what is this term dependency ratio? Let me mark it out for you. Dependency ratio. What is this dependency ratio? It is nothing but dependent population by working age population. Somewhere you get this, somewhere you also get this, very rarely depending population by total population. Okay, I call it as gross dependency ratio and I call it as net. It is just my call, right? Net and gross you will find nowhere. Fine. So what had happened? Working group population has increased, dependent population has decreased, therefore dependence ratio will obviously decrease. Okay, now number of children and elderly person per working age of population. So it is talking about this only. Okay, which are dependent population? We have to understand. Dependent population are population of child and non-working adults, which may include old age. Actually, we take this only, and others we take as working population, right? According to age. As per WPP, India will have one largest workforce globally in next 25 years. One in 5 workforce in working age group will be living in India. This working age bulge will keep on growing till 2050. India must make use of it. This is the bulge that we called what? That we call demographic dividend, right? However, there are several obstacles and harnessing this demographic dividend. India labor force is constrained by absence of women from workforce. Oh, yes, this is correct. So what are the constraints? Constraints: absence of women, only 25% women employed, the quality of education not up to mark, country workforce badly lack basic skills, having largest population with one of the world's lowest employment rate is another problem, right? Another concern of independent India is male dominant sex ratio. In 1951 the country has 946. SR now aggressively withstanding to the hurdles to stop the betterment of sex ratio as preference of son and sex selective abortion. The nation for the first time began witnessing slightly improved sex ratio from 1981 till 2011. It was 943. By 2022 it would be 950. It is shame that one in 3 girl is missing globally due to sex selection is from India. Okay. Improvement in sex ratio should be priorities for some community. Face several challenges for marriage squeeze in an imbalance between the number of men and women. Okay, and eventually bride purchase. Expectancy at birth, a summary indicator of overall public achievements. Saw remarkable recovery graph from 32 to 70. It is welcome to see such several mortality indicators have improved in last 7 decades. Okay, you have to understand. Look. Okay, during this, if birth and height rate means what, life expectancy is low, and here life expectancy is very high, right? So during independence time, say if we were here, so life expectancy was only 30 years, and now it has reached up to about 70 years, right? Why? Because of modern techniques, and we are propagating in stage 2. We are to enter stage 3 now. Okay. The infant mortality rate declined from 133 to another 5 mortality rate, and all those data you have to see. Every other woman in reproductive age group in India is anemic problem. Every third child below 5 is stunted, a very big problem. India stands 101 on 160 nation global hunger index. Fine. Serious health risk. Disease pattern of the country is also seen a tremendous shift in 75 years. While India was fighting communicable disease post independence, there has been transition towards non-communicable diseases. Okay, so this is one problem, health problem. Look what happens. Okay, I'll make one more graph. It is very clumsy now. Okay, so let me make a graph of DTT. So we have two things. We have a birth rate and we have this death rate. Okay, death rate goes and comes like this, followed by birth rate. Okay, so this is stage 1, this is stage 2, this is stage 3, stage 4. So what I was saying, look, it is written here. There is one more theory of this disease thing, epidemiological diseases, right? I'll make it with blue. What happens, or say in this only, what will happen in stage 1? Think there will be high prevalence of disease. Okay, let's use this color. Okay, so if we see disease, then there will be high prevalence of disease in this. Now, in this section, what will happen? Diseases tend to decline. Here, diseases will decline even more, and here we will have no disease or very low prevalences of disease. Okay, so here what we have in this part, in stage 1, high prevalence of disease. Why? No tech development. Okay, fine. Stage 2, declining prevalence of disease. Why? Tech developed or imported. Fine. Or okay, let's keep it imported only. Purchase is also fine. Declining prevalence of disease, rate high. Why? Tech plus people's participation. People are concerned about their health. Okay, people's participation will lead to what? Better sanitation, yoga, exercise, walking, okay, caring elderly, etc. This will lead to what? More decline of pestilences. Okay, sanitation itself can lead to lower this thing, pestilences and all these things, right? And in stage 4, you understand that technology is highly developed and people are highly participative in that thing. Okay, so if this is disease, so you understand the prevalence of how the disease prevail. Now in this context, you see here the disease pattern in the country has also seen tremendous shift. Okay, now what had happened, this was in general. Okay, this is for pestilences, means bacterial and viral disease. Fine. Yes, another also, other like parasitic, like your fungal, etc. Right? But what is the new trend? You have to understand this. Let's take this green one. Okay, so what is the new trend? The new trend is, look, here we have say pestilences, viral and fungal and all those diseases. As we move here, these will decline. Okay, or not like this. Let's see. Let's keep it like this. In this stage, it declines and goes on to decline like this. Or why I am making this? I should have made this directly now. Okay, in this stage, what will happen? In this stage, this stage. Okay, so this is your what? Pestilences disease. When people were dying of bacteria, virus and other disease, then they won't be dying of heart attack and cardiac and kidney failure and all those things. So it was low. As it grows, this has been growing like this. And what had happened? That today you see, now you understand. I am making the graph so that you understand. Here, this gap was high. Here this gap was low. This gap was very low. Here NCDs. Okay, and this is communicable disease. These has been brought down, like you say, corona. Corona has been injections have, I mean, vaccines have been developed against corona. But what will about NCDs? Is there a vaccine for cardiac arrest or kidney failure, renal failure, etc.? We don't have it, and the cases are increasing. Diabetes, blood pressure, it is increasing day by day. So this is what it is saying, right? So NCDs has increased. India is a global disease burden leader in share of NCD and almost doubled since 1990. You understand why? Because we are sailing through this part. Okay, I'm not saying that this will always be like this. It can be like this also, that this is your disease and it is going like this, and it comes like this. This is stage 1, this is stage 2. Okay, it may cover in stage 2 also. It entirely depends upon the population habits. India is home to over 8 crore people with diabetes. Furthermore, quarter of global health due to air pollution, etc., etc., etc. You will read it. India healthcare infrastructure highly inadequate and insufficient. Additionally, India public health sector requires 1.5% of GDP expenditure. World is calling, India is called young nation with 50% below 25 years, but the share of Indian elderly population is now increasing. Obviously, it will increase now. You see, as India sails through this stage 2 to stage 3, you see better elderly care will lead to more, you see here, yes, today India is in this below 25, 50% is below 25, but after some time what will you see, it will be like this, okay. So elderly population will obviously increase, is increasing obviously after 2050, elderly population will increase sharply, and the focus action should be extensive investment in human capital and all those things. You give it a read. I've explained you the major points of this article because it was a technical article, therefore I took help of, I have to explain it, it took some time, okay. As if it would have not been a technical article, I would have not gone into so details, right? So let's see what else is left. Okay, EECA invoked to rein in tool-dar prices. Tool-dar prices has risen. State to monitor and verify stock available with trader. With tool-dar prices surging mid-July and reports has coming that traders are getting artificial supply squeeze by restricting sales. Center has invoked the Essential Commodity Act 1995 and asked state to monitor and verify stock available with such trader. The directive issued on August 12, 2022 came hours before retail inflation number for July release. The consumer price has been over 7% since April and has moderately slighted to 7.01%. Tur-dar prices has risen since mid-July and amid slow progress in Kharif sowing compared to the last year due to excess rainfall and water logging conditions. Part of the major tools are going state of Karnataka, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Department of okay. On the top of sufficient overall availability of pulses in domestic market, the government is currently holding about 38 lakh tons of pulses which are being released in the market to further augment. Okay, so just know this thing, that center issues it and states implement it. Okay, now there was an RBI thing news. Okay, RBI clamps down intimidation. Major relief for bank defaulters. The RBI, taking into account certain recent developments including the growing incidence of unacceptable practices followed by recovery agents, has issued additional instruction to regulated entities by extending the scope of the guideline and limiting the hours for calling borrowers on phone for recovering of overdue loans. Any act of to humiliate publicly or intrude upon the privacy of debtor, family members and friend and calling borrower before 8 am and 7 pm could be constituted as harassment and intimidation. Okay. Fine. Okay, done. We are done with today's newspaper analysis. I hope you like it. If you like it, consider subscribing the channel, liking the content, sharing and commenting. Okay. So with this, I close the today's session. It's good that we are doing it regularly, right? So it's time to take a part from you, say goodbye to you. So goodbye all, good luck, study hard and Jai Hind.
So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.